Alright guys, a few videos ago, I don't remember how long it's been, I think it's been about a month maybe, we showed you where we changed out the locks on our doors to these RV locks. I loved them so much we decided to go ahead and change it out on our compartment doors on the side. In our 2250 here, we've got one on each side. I got one on this side, one on the other side of pass-throughs, and they had a Memorial Day sale, so I got these at a bargain also. Not quite as cheap as I got the ones for the other doors, but I liked them so much I decided to go ahead and take advantage of the sale while I could. One thing to note, the first set of locks I bought, I actually bought off Amazon because they had such a great deal on them. They was actually cheaper than buying them directly from RVLocks. And so I couldn't get the keys keyed the same getting it from Amazon. Now, turns out it wasn't that big of a deal because again, we use the keypad and it also has a fob with it. So to me, not being the same wasn't a big deal. Now these, since the coupon was actually from RVLocks, I did order these directly from RVLocks. And I was able to get these keyed the exact same as one of my other doors. So I just picked the main door, had it keyed the same, and that way all these will have the same key. Again, not that we ever plan on using the key again, that's why we got them. I'm just going to show you real quick how to put these on, because one thing I was concerned about, the reason why I hadn't ordered these before, is when you open this up here to change it out, you'll notice there's 4 screws here, but if you'll notice, this backing plate is also riveted in. I was really concerned about, one, how to get that off, and you know, I didn't know if you'd have to drill it out, how hard it was to drill it out, anything like that. So I ordered these, and then I actually went and kind of checked out what some other people were saying. You can drill these rivets out, but I found out with ours we don't have to. And so that's the reason why I wanted to show you the install on these. It's a very similar install compared to the other doors, except for this backing plate right here. So I kind of wanted to show you that real quick. There's one little modification you have to do if you don't change this backing plate out. And so I want us to walk you through that real quick, just so you know, because I couldn't find any videos, any information out there on it anywhere. So I want to show you, and that way there'll be one out there from now on. So we'll pull everything out of the box. It does have a new plate here for the latch. This is the little remote that comes with it, a little fob if you will. And then the whole latch mechanism here. And it was shipped very well. I loved how they packaged everything. So I was a little nervous when I first pulled this out, because this thing is huge compared to the one that's on here. It is a lot bigger. You can see it does set up a lot higher. But I cheated a little bit before I did this video. I've actually already done the other side just so I'd know everything I had to go through, and it fits perfectly. So don't panic if you get it and it looks much larger than your one you've taken off. But that's basically everything that's in the package. It does come with some longer screws. You see it does have a new backing plate here, and again it does line up. The whole, you got your 4 screws here that line up, and of course you can, if you want to, this is your choice. I'm going to reuse my existing backing plate just so I don't have to drill out these rivets, and then I'd have to get some screws to go back in here or re-rivet it or whatever. Just for ease of installation, I'm going to use the existing backing plate and not use this one. So to do that, this is the battery pack, and so I'm not going to use this plate right here. This is what they send with it, and again it does line up. It would be great to use. I just don't want to have to go through all the trouble of drilling the rivets out and like that, when I can just simply add this right here on there. So let me show you what we got to do. Again, it's kind of like the other doors. If you hadn't watched that other video, all you do is remove these 4 screws, and they are very short screws, which is why they send you longer ones. And you'll see why that makes sense here in just a second. once you get all 4 screws out. Now again, this bracket here is still riveted on, but all we do is pull this handle set out right here. There's your opening. So now all we're going to do is we're going to insert this new one, same place. The only trick is you've got to be able to plug in your battery pack, which is this other piece I showed you that we just took off a minute ago. And so you do have to fish that through this little slot here in this opening here. It's a pretty short cord, so I may have to get Kimberly to help me fish that through the hole there, because I got fat hands. Okay, we got that fitted through there. Yes, I had to get Kimberly to help fit it through there because I got fat fingers. But let me show you the issue here. So we've got to plug this in the back here and get this on here. For that to go flush, you notice that this little plug, the width of it is wider than my slot. And the way it sits, this is going to sit flush against this backing plate. So you can't just simply turn it and get it to fit through the hole, because then it won't light up here. So what I've got to do with that, so that I don't have to change out this backing plate and drill out these rivets, I got to cut just a little slit so that this will sit in it right here. And for that, I'm just going to pull out the Dremel and make a quick cut. Alright, so I've got my bit in the Dremel here. I've actually got it turned down to pretty slow speed because this is pretty soft plastic, and so this is really easy to do here being plastic. Again guys, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other one. You either drill out the rivets, put the new backing plate on there, or you drill out this little slot. It's really not a big deal either way. I just chose to do this. So then we just take your battery pack, plug it in. So once you plug that in, you'll get a little confirmation beep, and then it's just a matter of sliding this lock up on the outside so that your holes line up. Line this up over the holes, and then we'll put our 4 screws in there. Alright, we got our 4 screws back in there. It doesn't hurt to have a second set of hands there, just simply because you want to make sure you pull up on this. It does want to slide down in there, so you kind of want to pull up on this, get your holes lined up, and get it all in there and get your screws. So you know, 1 extra hand sure is a big help. But then once you get it all in there, it's just like normal. Slam, closes. Easy peasy. Really is that easy, guys. Now they do send a new piece right here. It does have a deeper fitting right here to go in here. The problem is when I took this off on the other side, I've got a metal beam under there, so this doesn't fit down in there, and there's really not a way I could, you know, cut it out to make it fit either. And so luckily this one fits. It doesn't cause a problem as far as not going all the way in there and being engaged or anything like that. So luckily we didn't have to change that out at all, so I'll just keep this as a spare piece just in case we ever need it later. And we're good to go, guys. I'm not going to go through all the steps of reprogramming it, how to program your code and everything in there, simply because that's in the other video we did. I'll put a link down in the description, and I'll put a link up here in the top corner if you want to go back and watch the other video on how we reprogrammed that and program the fobs and all that. But
and there's instructions in the box.
Yes, and there's instructions in the box. I mean, short instructions. It's very, very simple to do, so it's not hard at all. It takes about another minute and a half here to do that. So, but that's it, guys. I just wanted to show you putting this on. Again, I wanted to address this rivet issue because I couldn't find anywhere how to get around the rivets and drilling them out, and so I wanted to show that to you. Hope that helps, guys. See you next week.